crypto warriors, changing our world day by day. The way of the crypto warriors, can't rely on the bankers, no way.
Good morning, Bix Weir, roadrunner.com. It's morning, Hornazis, your sip of chaga coffee. Very interesting days, but very exciting at 10 a.m. Pacific time today, which is Tuesday the 17th. I will be returning to Rogue News via the Guerrilla Economist and CJ. I'm very excited about this. We used to do a weekly hump day interview for years, and then I started my own YouTube channel and kind of went on my own. These guys are awesome. They have a great channel. My friend Gus Demas does a weekly with them, Cuss with Gus, which is a must here if you're over 21 years of age. Every week at Rogue News. I'm so excited about hanging out with them. I'm not excited about the trolls in the chat room. They come on a lot. Truthfully, you kind of give up after a while on the trolls. I am up for any troll that wants to debate me on a YouTube channel live. If you guys want to go onto Rogue News and say, I want to debate Bix Weir, and I'm a troll. Do it. Dude, I'm all up for it. I'd love to debate a troll. Any of them. But you got to tell us who you are and why you spend your life trolling the chat rooms of YouTube. It would be fun. Hey, contact V and CJ and they'll set it up. Bix versus a troll. But you can't be anonymous, my friend. We need to know who you are and what you stand for. And then I'd be glad to debate any troll. For example, this one, Momo, this guy's a fool. Why anyone interviews him is dumbfounding. All right, Momo, why not tell the world who you are? Come on the channel and explain to the world why anyone who interviews me is dumbfounding. That would be a good discussion. Moving on. So anyway, this one's at 10 a.m. Pacific time, which is 1 o'clock Eastern time. We do it live. I'm so excited about hanging out with these guys. They're awesome, and they're on the leading edge. Leading edge! They're great. Speaking of great, two of my good friends, Chris Marcus and Andy Schechman, did a great interview on Arcadia Economics. Andy is on fire. He knows what's going on. I've been using Andy Schechman as my silver dealer for a hell of a long time. We've known each other for God knows how many years. If you want to buy physical silver, send Andy Schechman an email. Andy@milesfranklin.com. Tell him you're from Road to Ruta, and he will set you up with the best price you can get anywhere. Do it. Do it. Do it. And then my advice, buy what he's got in inventory, because who knows how long this game's going to last. We're at the end game. It's really hard to go out on a limb and trust anybody for a week or two, even though Andy is 100% trustworthy. He can't tell you when they're going to stop deliveries of American Eagles from the U.S. Mint. That's the risk we take. But Andy Schechman, again, his email is andy@milesfranklin.com. Get your silver now while you still can. I still have projected over $600 silver by the end of the year. I know it sounds crazy. What does it take? It takes one trade for 1 ounce of silver for that to happen. Actually, 5,000 ounces of silver. One trade for 5,000 ounces of silver. 5,000 ounces because that is the minimum contract on the COMEX. But all it takes is one. People don't understand that. When manipulation ends, the very next trade is going to be closer to fair market value than you can even imagine. Because nobody is going to sell for any price, knowing that the manipulation has ended. It will be not a moonshot. It's like a moon teleportation of silver from $50 to $600 in a blink of an eye, because nobody will get in the way of that rocket. Why would you? If you had physical silver and you saw the manipulation breaking down, wouldn't you want to? You wouldn't want to sell your silver. You'd want to do the opposite. You'd want to buy as much as you could, because you were right in your silver analysis, and you should be holding physical silver. Anyway, listen to the very beginning. He sounds like a Bix Weir, if you ask me.
On Monday, 212,850 contracts. That's over 1.2 billion ounces. That's 1.5 times what is mined in a year globally in the industry. Was dumped onto the market at the open.
Awesome. Go subscribe to Arcadia Economics. Hit the subscribe button. I'm going to give my friends a thumbs up. Bang. Good stuff. Really good stuff. And you want to know what's going on in the physical market? These are the two guys to talk to, along with Ted Butler. But these guys you can actually talk to. So give Andy an email. All right. What's going on with silver? Yesterday they were fighting for the 50-day moving average. These are not real trades, mind you. They're fun and games with computers and derivatives. But today it looks like the bad guys got below the 50-day moving average. There's not much meat left on that bone. Usually when they slam it below the 50-day moving average, they're actually picking up contracts because all the tech traders are dumping. Oh, it dropped below the 50-day moving average, I'm going to dump. Right now, that's not happening. As it bumps above the 50-day moving average, nobody's really sure. It needs a clear breakout for people to get in, so they can't make much. It's not making money. They're trying to get out of their short position. Take a look at the current open interest. We are not going down fast enough for the delivery date. We got 7 days left, and there's 7,000 or 74,000 contracts, which is 350 million ounces of physical silver may have to be delivered. Will it be that? No, of course it won't. First of all, it can't. There's not that amount of physical silver available in the world. But it's really interesting that we have such a high number coming into the last few days. They're going to have to shake this shit up. To close out contracts. I do not see it happening. There's not enough weak hands in. JP Morgan can always shake the shit up by fleecing its other buddies on the COMEX, the other 8 large traders. But right now, we're looking at, say they drop 5,000 contracts yesterday. Let's say they do, it'll probably increase. Well, let's think about the largest. When was the largest delivery month? It was July. I think it was close to 80,000 or 80 million ounces were delivered. Right now we're at 350 million ounces. December is usually the largest delivery month. I'd expect it to be over 100 million ounces delivered. Anything over 150, good night, banking cabal. At 100 million, they're going to have a hard time. If JP Morgan's not ready to release its gold, again, remember, this is the end game. This is the end game. Everybody's playing out their end game. The bad guys are playing out with their end game with the pandemic and the lockdowns and all that shit. And the good guys are playing out their end game with Trump, taking our freedom back, throwing the criminals in jail. Who's going to win is still up in the air. I don't think anybody knows. But the fight is good. And it is a clean fight. Well, it's not clean on the good guys, on the bad guy side. They're cheating, lying, and stealing. But it is the fight we knew was coming. Cliff High. This in September at the Litecoin conference in Vegas. He did a special announcement, a special interview about year zero. He had discovered the military talking about year zero on the deep web, I think he called it. He said 2020 is year zero. It's when everything goes sideways. And obviously he was 100% correct. September, we weren't thinking about any of the craziness. And this year, my God. Right? And it's just going to get worse between now and the end of the year. And then we got 10 years of this shit. Fighting to rebuild. But the crescendo of this battle is coming. Obviously, there's Trump stuff. There's arrests of pedophiles. There's all kinds of crap going down right now. All kinds of crap. And I'm doing my best to fight the fight. I hope you guys are too. I'm fighting the silver fight, the crypto fight, the governor of California fight. By the way, the petition is doing well. Please sign the petition. Compel California Governor Gavin Newsom to fully explain his French Laundry event. He had a press conference yesterday. He said, I'm going to get out, and before he took questions, I'm going to get out in front of this right away. He gave up a couple details. One, he arrived at 4:30. That's when he arrived. The French Laundry is a 4 to 6 hour event. he has mandated 2 hours maximum for people. He arrived at 4:30. That's all he said. And he said he was surprised at the amount of people at his table. And he still hasn't said how many people are at his table. The SF San Francisco Chronicle said it was over 12. His handler slash bagman, this guy Jason Kinney, had his office make an announcement though that, oh yes, there was only 12 people at the event, at the table. I don't care how many people sat at his table. How many people were at the event? How many hands did he shake? How many people did he kiss in celebration of the Biden victory, which was announced that morning? We need more details. That's what this petition goes through. I will link the petition below this video. It's a great petition. And people saying, Bix, that's too intrusive. You shouldn't know this stuff. How many other people were at the restaurant? How dare you ask that? How big was this event? Nobody knows. If it was just 12 people, we should know that. But Newsom has never said that. His handlers say it, but he has never said it. He knows it's a trap. Because this guy, Jason Kinney, it's his 50th birthday. It's the day that Biden it was the greatest day in these guys' lives. You don't think there was 50 to 100 people there? I wouldn't be surprised if they rented out the entire restaurant. And just had people say, okay, you sign up under your own name over here. This thing was planned long in advance, so every single time Gavin Newsom was telling people to shut their doors, lock down, don't open restaurants. Every single time for months. He knew this event was coming and he went anyway. We need the media to ask these questions because we are not getting the full answer at all. And that's why I'm jumping up and down. Why did he do it? Because he knows the pandemic is a scam. The odds of dying of this COVID thing are minuscule. Minuscule. 18,000 people have died in California out of 200 what's the total population of California? It came out to 0.0014% of people in California have died from COVID. 0.0014. You think that's enough reason to destroy every single economic business that people built their whole lives? Destroyed because this guy said, you can't go outside. You're going to die. We have to save you. We are the government. This guy needs to go to jail. He shouldn't be worried about the next election. He should be worried about going to jail for doing this on purpose. Yes, of course, he was told by his overlords to do this on purpose. Same with New York, on purpose. We need to... Gavin Newsom knew about this party months in advance as he was handing out his decrees. His latest decree, they're going to institute a curfew in California. You get the government you deserve. It's time to overthrow them. Cryptos are doing well. Keep an eye on, cryptos are doing well mainly because of the criminals at Bitfinex, Tether, Binance. They're creating Tether out of thin air right now and they're buying up the cryptos. Same old story. So it could be shaken out at any moment. These are the criminals, the deep state overlords over cryptocurrencies. They own a lot of them. Not all of them. Cryptos are our future. It's just we need to shake the tree and arrest many of the pedos. We will see. Welcome to year 0. This is going to go on for 10 years. I'm not saying that cryptos will stay low. They will not stay low. I am saying, yes, they could crash the cryptos with a click of a mouse. That's why you have to have them in your own possession only. Same with silver. In your own possession only. And now is the time. It's the end game. Great article by Ron Paul. Will Biden listen to science? Problem with these Democrats and their pandemic is that, trust the science, trust the science, trust the science. Now the science is saying, don't do all the things that Gavin Newsom is telling us to do. Masks suck. They don't fix anything. As a matter of fact, they harm your health. And all these, Ron Paul, great article. Go to ronpaulinstitute.org. He talks about science. Everybody says listen to the scientists on the Democrat side. So what are the scientists saying? Biden is working with governors, mayors, and other local officials to create a de facto national mask mandate. Biden has declared he will mandate mask wearing in all federal buildings for people traveling interstate. A mask mandate for interstate travel could mean you will be required to wear a mask on airplanes, trains, and even when driving your own car across state lines. Yet again, Biden is ignoring the science. In this case, the science has demonstrated that most masks are ineffective at preventing the spread of viruses. Ron Paul is a doctor. Medical science shows that wearing a mask for extended periods of time causes health problems. For example, wearing a mask interferes with proper breathing. Long-term mask wearing also causes serious dental problems. Ironically, major victims of mask mandates include low-wage workers Biden and his fellow progressives claim to care so much about. Many of these workers are required to wear masks on the job. Biden has also proposed raising an army of culturally competent contact tracers. According to the University of California, San Francisco, which is helping train that California's contact tracers ask questions related to topics that can be sensitive, including health, work, living arrangements, and food resources in order to identify someone who should be quarantined. These contact tracers could also be available to enforce masks and other mandates, including a potential vaccine mandate. These are the fingermen. If you ever saw V for Vendetta, these would be fingermen. Oh my God. By helping secure those who refuse to comply with the indefinitely quarantined. Remember, this quarantine bullshit, it was only supposed to be 6 weeks and it'll be over. That's all you got to do, 6 weeks. And then it goes on and on and on. That was always part of the plan. Destroy the economic system, destroy the middle class, and institute socialism in the United States. That's the plan. Scare people. Newsom wasn't scared when he went to that big old party, was he? Why wasn't he scared? Because he knew it was a con. Biden is not the only politician pushing authoritarian solutions on coronavirus. The governor of Washington, D.C. is considering authorizing vaccinating children without parental consent. This ignores the science that some people will have a negative reaction to a generally safe vaccine. We need to stop it. Yell, scream. At the end of the day, it might come to get armed. I don't know. He finishes lockdowns, masks, and other authoritarian measures do little or nothing to promote health. Instead, they erode freedom and create their own health problems. Those who know the truth must make Joe Biden and other authoritarians listen to the true science. While those more at risk, such as the elderly and people with certain health problems, could be encouraged to take extra precautions, all Americans should be given back the liberty to make their own healthcare decisions. Bravo, Ron Paul, as usual. That's why I voted for him 3 times for president. 3 times I voted Ron Paul. I had to write him in a couple times. Amazing man. Speaking of scary shit, Amazon expands push into healthcare with online pharmacy. You got Jeff Bezos going to be allocating vaccines. I am beyond scared. That's like sitting down with Bill Gates and order your Microsoft software and you get a free vaccine with it. This shit's out of control. Speaking of out of control, the Federal Reserve Bank of New York has updated their economic education site. Go to the Fed New York and go to the outreach. Now it's called Outreach and Education. That's scary. But look what's in there. There's Glix. Right there. This is a character that the Federal Reserve Bank of New York created about me. People say, Bix, you're so full of shit with your analysis of the Road to comic books. You don't know what you're talking about. You're going to see a lot of that in the chat room of Rogue Money when I'm talking to V. These people, I will love to debate anybody about this. Apparently, the Federal Reserve Bank of New York took it pretty seriously and created a character about me. A guy who runs around teaching people about what's really going on behind the scenes. And oh, by the way, pulls out his guitar and sings songs about it. Yes, that is Glix. I love some of my buddies who are like anti-Bix were like, holy shit, why would the Federal Reserve take this shit seriously? Because it's true. The road to Ruta theory is 100% true and it is playing out right now. Create as much money as you can for as long as you can, soaking up all the benefits of unbacked fiat money. Build roads, bridges, houses, build your military. Spend till it goes off the charts, infinity money. If you follow Catherine Austin Fitts, yes, all that $100 trillion in the bond market is all fake. The 30 trillion that she found in the books of the military are all fake, or the housing of HUD. It's fake, but it's not. It's real money created by them. They just don't tell you about it. They create infinity money behind the scenes, ultimately to destroy the system and go back to a gold standard is what in the origin of it. Now I think it'll be a hybrid gold and crypto standard. Got Litecoin, by the way? Anyway, that's where we are on the road to Ruta. Again, at what time? 10 o'clock Pacific time. I'll be on Rogue News talking with V and CJ, and you guys can battle it out in the chat room if you wish. Support the Road to Ruta theory and tell any trolls that I'm ready to debate them live if they're willing to give up their identity. Anyway, really good time. Well, I don't know if it's a good time to buy cryptos. The fear greed index is at extreme greed. So yeah, there'll probably be a pullback. I don't know. I'm a hodler. So yes, I think we're going to get at least one run over the all-time high, over 20,000 by the end of the year. And it could keep running. The next stop, the next big pullback won't be till about 80 to 100,000 Bitcoin. That's per Bitcoin. And it might not even be Bitcoin. It might be Bitcoin Cash, which is in the dumper right now. I don't know. I do know that the 230 to 1 Bitcoin to Litecoin ratio is completely out of whack. It will go to 4 to 1. Why? Because Litecoin, first of all, there's 4 times as much Litecoin as Bitcoin, but Litecoin is so much more useful. So much more useful than Bitcoin as you're moving into a time where we need a means of exchange, a decentralized means of exchange. That's why Litecoin has gone up like 20% in the last couple of days. It is so much more useful than Bitcoin. Bitcoin has become unuseful, shall we say, at the minimum. Yes, it was taken over by the core developers, got infiltrated. Bitcoin really can't move. It can't do anything except sit there and be Bitcoin and be used as a store of value. Litecoin can do a hell of a lot with the Lightning Network, with all kinds of things. So there you have it. There's your update. This is Bix Weir. RoadToRuta.com. I'll talk to you later.